Paranormal XL podcast. Today's hosts are Gigi and Mama Mary. Who knew?
Oh, that's a miracle.
Whoa, how exciting. I can't wait to talk to them gals. Those crazy witches.
Those she-witches.
We hope everyone had a fantastic week. How was yours?
Actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah?
Nothing, horrible happened.
Not
really.
horrible, just kind of horrible?
Just the same old stuff. Just,
Shit.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah. Mine was long. Called in sick one day. That was fun. Really wasn't. The only time I really like to call in sick is when I'm not actually sick.
That's true.
And I play hooky. I was actually sick, so I didn't do shit. I didn't get shit done. I was like, what a waste of a call-in day.
Yeah. What a waste of a sick day.
I know. I was actually sick, and it made me very upset. And then I got hooked on that stupid show that the girls showed me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not one for reality TV. Because it's really not reality. They are just horrible actors. And it just sucked me in. It was horrible. I was like, what is happening to me?
I like the drag queen one.
Oh, what's the name of that one?
I think it's called Drag Queen.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to look it up.
Oh,
I think, but I just love it. It cracks me up. I watch it.
And this one makes me feel bad for people. It's the 90-day fiancé or whatever, but there's different parts of it.
I watched them watch. I'm like, what the hell are you watching?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, first of all, why would you go to Nigeria? Like, you already know. That's the one I'm hooked on. So I'm like, come the frig on. I know when it comes out and they got to watch this, they were like, oh man.
That was dumb.
Totally blinded. Yeah, but so many people are like that. You end up living in this fantasy world, which is great. And then when the chance becomes for it to be reality, it's not the same.
It's not, yeah, it's not so great.
No, because most of my life I live in a fantasy world. And then I'm like, oh shit, reality. Oh, you suck. That's how I was just telling the girls. It would be awesome because I see them traveling overseas and stuff. And they get to go to some of these most beautiful places. And they're all trying to pick fights with their internet fiancés or what. I'm like, you know what? You got 3 weeks. Enjoy this shit out of it. For the 3 weeks. Say, I want to go here, I want to go here. Don't even pay no attention to them if you don't want to.
Just do it.
Take advantage of your time out there. And then fight about it and decide that you don't want to get married afterwards. I don't know. That show's got me drinking. It's got me drinking. So, okay. So let's get back to business. Today we are going to, today Mama is going to cover how crystal therapy works. And me, Gigi, I'm going to ask ridiculous questions because I've been wanting to know this. And yes, I do know how to research things and I could have done it, but I like to have conversations with Mama about it too, and that makes it a lot more fun. So, she's going to get us more into the deeper meaning of it and the different types and stuff like that. So, and go! LOL.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's been a long day at work.
Right?
But and then somebody was agreeing with me that it's been a long day, all right. But crystals, there's all sorts of different kinds of crystals, so I'm not even going to pretend to be an expert on how many crystals there are, what their names are, all the properties. But crystals are very healing, in general.
And beautiful.
And they are beautiful. And really, when you're buying stones and crystals, you would rather have the ones that are raw, which raw would mean not polished or tumbled.
My favorite. If I'm purchasing one, it's always raw.
They're more energetic that way.
I'm drawn to them more that way, and it's more the natural look that's left with them.
Yeah.
I've gotten the polished ones, the tumbled ones and stuff as gifts, and they are pretty and easier to make the jewelry out of, but however, how I want to, I just don't wear the crystals or have the crystals for an accessory. Mm-hmm. That makes, Yeah,
they're to carry with you for certain purposes.
Right.
And so a lot of times when I first started doing my spiritual work and doing spiritual healing, I started off mostly doing crystal therapy with people when I would do my energy work. And I found that very healing because there are stones that go along with each chakra. Mm-hmm. And so I would have the person lay down and I would place the stones at each chakra before I did my energy work. And I still do that. It's just...
So, you did that to me.
Yeah, nobody really asks for it a whole lot.
Yeah.
But, it's... I do think that it is very healing and it amps up those chakras.
Okay.
Unless you're not ready for that kind of energy, then it's probably a good idea to start off slow before you throw some stones into the mix. Whatever, if that makes sense.
Ouch.
But for your root chakra, red stones, and or for that base chakra, red jasper, even obsidian, fire agate. Those are great stones to put onto that chakra, or just to carry with you. So if you're somebody who needs extra grounding, or if you need to feel more secure,
Yeah.
carry the red stones. And you could even wear the color red. A lot of people who naturally need that, they
I love
wear
love
red.
The color red, yeah. My slutty dresses are red.
I love slutty dresses.
Me too.
See?
Me too. Anyway, this could go somewhere different than crystals.
Just don't put the crystals there.
Exactly. Ow. Especially the raw ones. At least make it soft. Or smooth, not soft. Smooth.
That's what she said.
Rock hard smooth. Oh my god. Okay, keep going.
See what happens? You don't have any of those stones around here, do you?
I'm like, oh.
I'm looking around. Okay, so for your sacral chakra, which is all about creativity and actually like your and also your sexuality,
Okay.
the goddess self or the god self. If that's orange, crystals are really good for that. So anything like carnelian, orange calcite, golden topaz, something like that is really good for that. And that opens up the creative flow and finding balance of who you are and feeling good about yourself and, being more sexual. Because a lot of times when that chakra is closed down, you're either overly sexual, you wear too many red dresses, or if it's closed down, you don't wear enough red dresses.
I gotta take some notes, guys. That was my pen. So you're telling me probably need to wear more. I have red dresses. I don't get a chance to wear them much.
I'll see.
Anymore because they're too sexy to wear on my children. So I need a babysit. Just kidding.
Just wear them around Sean. Or make Sean wear them.
Oh, that's an idea. I'd love to see that.
That would be great.
And he's like 80 feet compared to me. That'd be hilarious. I even got red, pumps. That would be so funny.
Nice. Interesting.
Anyway.
So, for your solar plexus, that's the color that represents that is yellow. So, you'd want to have, yellow stones to correspond with that chakra. And that would be citrine, tiger's eye, and yellow labradorite. And the whole point is, is laying down and placing the crystals on that chakra to balance that chakra. And so you don't necessarily have to have someone else doing that for you. You can do that on your own and meditate, whatever you feel like is, off kilter or, off balance.
Now, if you're doing that, okay, let's say you got somebody laid out on one of those bed thingies. Now, do you put those crystals all on at the same time, or do you do one at a time?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. I will, and then just do the crystal therapy with the energy work. But I do have a chakra gong meditation I like to do. It's a guided one, and it's about an hour long. And a lot of times I will place them as we go through the chakras and clear out the chakras. With that one, I place them separately.
Okay.
So it kind of just depends, and it really depends on what I feel like the person needs.
Right.
So if it's somebody who really hasn't done anything like that before, and they're high anxiety, I might avoid doing them all at once so that they can adjust to the vibration.
Okay, right. That makes
especially
sense.
if they're sensitive. Some people are so closed off that even when you do it, they're not going to get anything major. They'll feel different, but they won't feel the intensity of it. Somebody who's more sensitive,
they won't understand what's happening. And
it'll be too much for them.
Yeah.
So it kind of just depends on the person.
Huh. Interesting.
So we're going to talk about the heart chakra. What color represents the heart chakra?
Red?
You're so
No, I already did red. Purple.
Green.
That's what I said. Now, see, that just doesn't make any sense.
I know, you would think it would be pink because rose quartz are really good.
Yes.
For the heart chakra. But you do have the thymus gland, which is like the second heart. A lot of times they say the thymus gland, like when you get like a chest pain that's above your heart up to
I
your
always
left.
Get that, yeah.
That's your thymus gland opening up, and when you start to go through it a lot more, that's actually the second part of your heart chakra opening up to connect with angels.
So I'm not having a heart attack.
No. So a little side note. But so of course, like green crystals would go along with the heart chakra, like jade, moss
jade
agate,
is so pretty.
aventurine. I love aventurine. That's one of my favorites.
I don't know if I've ever seen you got one.
It's not Ami, but it's like a clearish green. I'm trying to see if nope, I don't have any aventurine in here. These are actually 4 chakras.
Oh yeah, I know those.
I'm missing one, but I think it's at the house, and that actually might be my aventurine. But eventually it would be something like this, where it's like a clear screen.
Okay. Those are so cute.
Aren't they? But see, like the,
Love these.
I guess for anybody watching, they're little crystals, but they're like pyramids.
Yeah.
And so you set those on top of the chakras, and the triangles in general and pyramids are very healing because it sends the energy out. It's a natural balancer.
And that's why we see those in that shape.
So this is like that. That's a red jasper.
Okay.
And this would be your tiger's eye. And this is, I think that's another kind of jasper. But this would be your rose quartz.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a black tourmaline. And I'm not sure what that one is, to be honest. It looks like a little bit of a fire opal.
I was going to say the opal of some sort for sure.
But those are just some that I carry around with me. Just because.
I've been looking at getting this up.
I got them from Top Hatter.
Of course you did.
Top Hatter.
I know.
So for like the throat chakra, you would want to do blue because the blue is what corresponds with the throat chakra. So blue lace agate, which is a very pretty stone, very, very pretty. Angelite and aquamarine are really good stones to correlate and clear out that chakra, balance and heal. And then indigo stones, purplish color for your third eye.
Okay.
So like amethysts are good for that. Lapis lazuli, sodalite, azurite. I know. It's just a go-to stone for everything.
It very much is.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Even before getting into it, that's
fluorite. Fluorite's really good for your third eye, especially if you want to open up your psychic gifts.
So
and
I just did this.
Kyanite's very good for the third eye and your throat chakra for opening up your spiritual gifts because your throat chakra connects with your mediumship gifts.
Okay.
So when you open up that more, it also opens up your ear chakras. And then it helps you to hear more. Now I'm like getting off a little bit, but other than the basics.
You're making sense.
And then like violet, of course, is not violent. Violet.
Let's just clear that up right now.
That's how I feel today. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Oh no.
But that's your crown chakra. So again, like amethyst, any kind of like violet stone or violet. I keep on saying violet. What is wrong with me? Labradorite and selenite. Boy, what's on my mind? Violet.
You're so fun.
But like, and then you have your higher crown chakra. So you have the chakras above your crown chakra. Mm-hmm. So any kind of like white stone for that is perfect. Like selenite. Selenite's a perfect stone for anything because it's an angelic stone and naturally cleanses itself. And it'll also cleanse other stones. And then you have clear quartz, which is a great stone by itself, but it's also a great stone to use with anything else.
Okay.
Because it amplifies it. Right. So if you're trying to open up your third eye, meditating with a clear quartz, touching whatever stone you want to use, like I would use a fluorite, by holding those together, or even placing them on your third eye, it depends on where you want to go with it. If you want to like boom, open it up, place them on. But if you want to slowly get used to what it feels like, hold them in your hand and meditate. And even do it like a guided meditation and opening up your third eye.
All right. So now we're talking. So essentially, this is like a chakra crystal therapy. Now there are other crystal therapies. One I've been interested in and I've seen it advertised is the amethyst therapy.
Okay.
The pads.
Oh yeah, when they do Reiki, they have like, and they're pretty expensive, but I like them. It's basically just a big amethyst that's inside of the pad that heats up while you're laying on it for Reiki and energy work.
One. I was going to ask her to show me that just so like I knew what it not. Do you know how it works like completely?
As far as I know, you just have people lay on it while you're doing your Reiki and energy work. It's just extra healing.
Okay.
It raises the vibration.
Okay.
But she might have other ways. That's the only way I know of it.
Okay. That's how I was just going to ask you. Sorry.
She might have a better understanding of what to do with it.
Right. Okay. That's it. So if you go to somebody that comes to you, schedules crystal therapy with you, and you then a year later they go to somebody else, and then they're like, she didn't do it this way. Now everybody's got their own way. Is it just how you?
Yeah, it's really just how everybody has
what calls to you type of thing. How it comes out.
Yeah, it's sort of like doing a reading. I don't give everybody the same reading, same basic way of reading, but sometimes other people need something different. Than one person. Yeah. And every psychic and medium does it differently. Yeah. They hear differently, they see differently, they feel differently.
Right. Well, I guess I just wasn't under. What I think I needed to know was now is crystal, like, if there's just like a black and white printout of how crystal therapy is done.
No.
So my answer is no.
No, I would do like intuitively.
Okay.
Whatever you feel like somebody needs the most. I mean, you could even do like a grid underneath and place underneath the bed that would draw down negative energy. So
Okay.
taking a grid and placing clear quartz in the middle and doing a circle of black tourmaline.
Yeah.
And then doing lines in it to draw down the negative energy into those stones. And then you could just bury the stones and ground that energy.
I love my black tourmaline. I have a bunch of it. I gift that. My black tourmaline.
It's very protective.
I always cannot say it right. The cellulite.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the things that I buy in bulk, and I gift those to people when we start talking about. I'm like, these. Everybody needs these. Just these two start you out. If you don't ever get anything else, because I just want people that I care about protected.
Yeah.
But the problem is tourmaline and obsidian. I absolutely love, and I have a bunch of it. See, and that's why I'm like, oh, I'll put it underneath the bed. And then as soon as you said bury it, I was like, no, I'm out. Now, okay, I have anxiety attacks when I'm sleeping, and that's my main time of getting them. Do you think that would help?
Probably.
Now, I've been, with my research, trying to figure it out. The amethyst, I've seen, sleep with it underneath your pillow, stuff like that. But I've lightened up, but that's what, as soon as you said that, that's kind of where my mind went. Was, okay, if I have trouble sleeping, maybe try this.
Yeah.
With that.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't hurt anything.
No, it's not going to hurt you.
Unless my bed falls.
Unless you try
to have a huge piece of it and it stabs through my back.
Either you try to eat it. Don't eat it.
I don't like that.
Put it in your bra, people.
Yes. That's where they carry them. My boobs just aren't big enough to carry them in my bra. Because then I'm just lopsided. And it does look like a bag of nickels, like in one side. So I've had to learn to make my own necklaces or put them on keychains and stuff.
Just get two big ones.
It's like, those are real boulders right there, buddy.
They're a little lumpy.
Those out. But they're shinies. Put these, you guys can't see this, but
put them there for the nipples. That's great.
I know what our Halloween costumes are. Blue crystals all over us.
All glued over.
I can't fucking see. And the kids put googly eyes.
Now, like rose quartz is, great for the heart chakra, even though it's not green. And it's great for love, but it's also great for restoring balance and harmony to situations and, the atmosphere. So, if you're having like trauma in your household, that would be a good stone just to put out because it would
naturally be beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you can make it if you're that's gonna look silly. But no, it's really not.
No, they're very pretty.
They are super pretty. That's another good gift, I think. I love to gift things, but not one person has ever said I hate rose quartz. Even if they're not into it, they don't understand the full meaning. They're like, wow, that's a really, really pretty stone. I know it is.
Mm-hmm. You want to make sure you cleanse your stones often because they are there for healing, and so they end up drawing in that negative residual energy. So you want to cleanse them, cleanse them in water, put them out in the moon, and put them in the windowsill. And just be careful, like with amethyst. Amethyst will fade in the sun.
Yes.
So there's certain stones you want to be aware of. That, like selenite, you don't want to really get it wet a whole lot because it will dissolve.
That's very soft stone.
Yes. Yep.
So like with the amethyst, that would be one that you'd want to cleanse on the full moon.
Yeah.
That way it's not in the direct sunlight. Now, let's say you done the chakra crystal therapy with someone. Now, would you take those stones and cleanse them?
Oh, yes.
Right afterwards? Yep. And then, okay.
Yep.
So cleanse after each use.
Exactly.
Quote, unquote, depending on, I guess, what you're using them for.
Yep. Cleanse and charge. Yep. And like jasper, which is the red jasper, like for the root chakra. Mm-hmm. That this crystal is known as like a supreme nurturer. It's said to empower the spirit and support you through times of stress and preparing you to fully show up. So which would bring you security, grounding you and preparing you to be more calm so that you can be successful.
Right.
And then it'll also protect you and absorb negative energies while helping you to feel more courageous and to think more quickly. So that's kind of a good overall stone if you need like a boost of not so much energy, but of faith and confidence.
Right.
Where you just need a little bit more. Carrying around, maybe a worry stone where you can rub it and it makes you feel good. Now, black obsidian, we talked about that. That's a very protective stone, a very strong,
Yes.
powerful protective stone that dispels negative energy and absorbs it, so it protects you from other people's negative energy.
Here we are going against each other because we both.
Yeah, see?
We're both are wearing it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the black stones that because I also have onyx too,
Mm-hmm.
which is super pretty, and I just like to say onyx. I don't know.
Onyx.
That's like
It's like sounds like a really cool band.
yeah, or like a just a tough sounding name to me or something. I don't know. I want like a big old mean looking dog to name him onyx.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I know, right? Big old
Mhm.
mean dog. Does sound fun.
But nice to me.
Well, yeah, eat others. Speaking of animals, now, are there healers that do crystal therapy for animals?
I would say so. I would
Yeah.
say it's a possible thing. I mean, they teach you how to do Reiki on animals.
Really?
Yeah, so why wouldn't you? I mean, I can't imagine a dog laying there long enough for you to put stones on them,
Nah,
but some
Daisy
might.
would eat 'em.
But you could always put like a collar on them,
That's true.
make them a little vest, and stick the crystals on the back.
I just had a genius idea.
See?
Go for cats and dogs.
There you go.
Just
Mm-hmm.
always about that side hustle. I think
Yeah.
that's a genius idea.
It is.
And you want to know what's funny about that? Let's say I make some, sell them. Next thing we know, we see people walking around. I'm just saying.
I would.
I'll make you a nice black one. You
All
like that?
right, yeah.
So I fucking wear one. Now, I know I have like a ton of questions. How do I want to put it? Let's say somebody walks into your shop. Now that doesn't automatically come with like a reading.
No.
They would have to ask for the crystal therapy
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
thing.
Yep, it's separate.
And then you kind of decide after meeting them, you kind of read their vibe and what you're getting off from them.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll end up giving somebody a reading after I do energy work with them,
Mm-hmm.
only because I think they need it.
Okay.
And I do it with no extra charge just because I think they need it. But typically it's a separate
Yeah.
separate
Okay.
thing. So a lot of times I could read people without doing a reading.
Oh yeah.
So it just kind of comes while I'm doing the crystal therapy. Like,
Interesting.
fascinating.
Yes, it is fascinating. And mine's going like so many different places. Well, because of crystals, because they're just so damn pretty.
Yeah, and there's so many of them, and so many different types. That's why it's hard to
Yes.
keep them straight.
Yes, it is. See, I only know a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
Where I can look and be like, oh, that's tiger eyes, because I have a whole bucket of it outside
Yeah.
my garage. Says I was like, oh, that works with anxiety. I need this whole lot of them. She was like, what are those? I'm like, tiger eye. I need every single one. And then I ended up with a bunch of rose quartz because they're so pretty.
They are pretty.
And then the tourmaline because I like to gift it and I just really like it. And if I could just put it everywhere, I would. But Daisy would eat it. She's like, "Oh, this is horrible." Anyway, you have anything else to add with the crystal therapy? Just
That's basically it. It kind of really just depends on what they're looking for.
now, do you know where it originated from? Kind of like the history of it. I mean, does it just
think
go
it's,
far back, or
It's an ancient art, and I did find something on that. So let me, because I didn't know that before. See if I put it in
Native
here.
Americans? That this is in their rituals, isn't it? Like
Yes.
okay,
Yep. But I think this one goes. Maybe I didn't put it in here. I'm looking.
she's looking, people. She's looking.
No, I didn't. It's an ancient form, and I'm thinking like way back like Asia. See if I still have it up when I was looking at it. Because I remember it struck me funny when I read it. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Let's see. It just says it's an ancient art, like I said, like I read. It says crystal therapy is an ancient art usually referred to as the laying on of stones. It's an alternative medicine technique, and those that practice it believe that crystals and stones can cure ailments and other diseases. It was devised by the ancients to balance the chakras and transform the energy properties of the body, thereby resulting in a clear energy field. The natural form of healing is often used today to create relaxation and relieve stress. So apparently she doesn't know who the ancients are either.
Oh, come on, people.
But I kind of feel like it's like an Asian thing,
Mhm.
or like a Chinese thing, like a
Okay.
Tibetan type thing
Okay.
for me. Because like the first thing I saw in my mind's eye when I read the word ancient, I saw elephants. That don't mean nothing. But for me, that would take me back
elephants.
to like Indonesia type thing or something like that.
Yeah, I say in ancient times and still in that part of the world, the elephant is a very sacred animal.
That's true.
So I mean, I think over there, at least in their thoughts, it holds holds a lot of powerful energy.
I'll look it up. Let's see. Let's see if it'll pull up. I'm turning off. I was listening to music. Good thing it was quiet. I could hear it a little bit by little.
Was it that gangster rap? Sometimes I have to throw mine in there.
It was classical.
Oh. I listened to that at work, dude. I had to go to the boss's office once. I took down my headphones, not realizing that it's up all the way. It's super quiet in his office, and it's cussing, swearing, talking about hoes and drugs and killing. And I'm like, oh, hold on, let me turn down my, what I call it, my trap music or something. And he's like, are you serious right now? I said, a mama's got to listen to whatever will help her cope. Sometimes it's this, and sometimes it's like my piano music.
Let's see. Well, they say that it dates. Some of it dates back to ancient Egypt, which doesn't surprise me. And I don't care about any of that.
Come on.
Get to the good shit.
Right.
Ancient traditional Chinese medicine and Aztecs. So
okay,
yeah, so it goes back to several different types. It looks like they probably all
Makes
had their
sense.
own little forms.
Yeah, and it kind of just adjusted as it traveled across.
Mm-hmm. So
In conclusion,
now for like citrine, that's really good for like bringing enthusiasm
okay.
into your life. If you need something like excitement,
Enthusiasm.
it's good for. I do believe like it doesn't say it here, but I've always carried citrine with me to bring in an abundance.
Okay.
Like I have a little amethyst tree with citrine on it because
Yeah, I've
it's supposed to
seen it,
bring
yeah.
in money. But it's really good for enthusiasm and being excited about things and just kind of boosting your happiness
Right.
overall. Now turquoise, that's like a favorite stone of the Native Americans. They believe that it has a sacred power, and a lot of people believe that it does.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful stone, but it helps to heal the mind, body, and soul. Keeps everything kind of like in one place. I don't know,
Yeah.
but balanced.
Yes.
So that sort of like the tiger's eye, which will give you motivation, but also ground and balance you.
Yes.
And amethysts are just great angelic stones and a good way to connect with your angels.
Again, just it's so.
It is. It's beautiful. Now moonstone, that's for new beginnings
Mm-hmm.
and bringing a new cycle. So
Okay.
if there's something that you're going through over and over again and you are tired of doing the same old dance, you can start carrying moonstones with you and set the intentions that with that moonstone,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to change your cycle. Because a lot of times what you want to do too is stones have very many different purposes.
Yes.
So you want to hold your stone and you want to program it for the purpose that you want it to use it for.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's say essentially it's something that's like, oh my gosh, these girls have lost me. Your stone that you have chosen based on what your need is,
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially kind of like your holder. You're putting your energy
Yeah. Yep.
into it by holding it, and you're just putting it in there instead of it going everywhere.
That's right. You want to
because you're
set
not
the
gonna get
intention.
change from
Yeah, if there's something specific. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
just carrying it because it's pretty, who cares?
right.
It's
Yeah,
pretty,
cool.
and it might activate what you need most out of it naturally.
Right.
But if you're carrying it because you want to have a certain purpose for it, then
Mhm.
you need to program it. And that's simple. You just hold it into your hands and
Put your energy in
yeah,
it.
just set your intention with it.
Yeah.
It'll absorb it. That's what they do.
It's there.
Mhm.
All right. So in conclusion, get lots of crystals. And don't
Yes.
let anybody be negative and tell you that you don't need them, because
Yes.
you always need them.
Screw that shit.
Because it's so pretty, and it's no different than collecting stamps.
No.
It's really, really not. If they're like, I ain't doing anything for you, well, they don't know that.
Hey,
Whatever. And it's pretty. It's better than doing drugs.
that's true.
I mean, let's just be honest.
Drinking wine.
Yeah, that's right.
We're all right.
We are alright.
So here's the pondering question for the day. Okay. So I was thinking about this when you were sending pictures of all the mountains.
Mm.
So you have beautiful mountains, and then here in Michigan you have mountains, but they're not huge mountains. And some you could say that they're hills that are big enough, but not big enough to be mountains.
Right.
Do you think those hills that aren't big enough to be mountains have like short mountain syndrome?
Yes.
I was thinking about that. Like, do their feelings get hurt? Because I feel that rocks have energy.
Mhm.
That's how they help you heal.
Yeah.
So to me, they have feelings in some shape or form. So do you think there's some that carry around like anger because they're not big like the big mountains, but they're just almost that big?
I think because I try to see the beauty in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if I was to see a hill, which we did see a lot out west too, the rolling hills.
Yeah.
And there was stuff on them that made them beautiful. Not so much like the ones here in Michigan, because I'm just like, oh, hills, I get to see these all the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But even, I guess, I don't, I had a direction I was going with that. I can't remember. See, I think that way too, and I've never said that out loud where I think things have like feelings, and I'm like, I don't know if they do or not, but nobody can tell me that they don't because they can't prove it to me. And that's why, like, I talk to my plants like a crazy person. My husband thinks I'm absolutely nuts, but I'm trying to grow sage for the first season.
Like it.
And you've seen it, and I haven't been able to, I can't even keep an alive plant alive, or a fake plant alive. Somehow that ends up dead. But I was able to get this lavender and this sage to grow. Again, I watered it at the very beginning of its life with straight up moon water. That's
there you
right.
Go. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to try this. Kind of like an experiment is what I was trying to do. And it took off. And then I would talk to them every day. Because, well, when I first get home, a lot of times nobody's here. I'm by myself.
Gotta talk to somebody. Okay, so I have a joke.
Let me swallow first. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't spit it on me. What did
That's what she said.
mommy hill say to the baby hill?
I don't know.
Let's not make mountains out of molehills.
And that is mom joke of the day. Oh, and there you have it, folks. There you have it. Drop the mic.
You're welcome.
And you are welcome. Curtsy. Oh my God, that is funny. Now I want to go driving around looking at mountains.
Because now you're thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful out there. And going through the mountains themselves and knowing that all these are in there, it's absolutely insane. Where before I wouldn't have thought of it that way. So here I am.
They're just
like,
mountains, yeah.
Yeah. But now that I've learned things, you know, and then speaking of the crystals like we are today, it's full of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just
amazing.
like, whoa. And if you actually take the moment, quiet down the car, Sean and his music, quiet, I'm trying to take all this in. I rolled down the window. I never would have done that before. I probably would have napped right through it until we got to our destination. But I actually took the time and enjoyed it and was like, feeling it, and I was like, oh, this is so wonderful. And then go into Craters of the Moon, which is the super volcano.
Yeah.
I can't even explain that to you, but my mind went right to you, and I was like, man, I wish that I could just warp her here right now. Because it would have been so, like, almost, it was like restarting, like, your emotional part, but just you're on, like, hundreds of miles of this lava stone, and it's real lava stone, and isn't this made shit from whatever. It was real, and it was just, the feeling from it was just awesome. You would have just
loved it.
Yes. And Sean, we went there the one day, and then we went and said goodbye to his dad and stuff from Idaho, and then we backtracked, and he took me back there. Like, he felt the need that, okay, she needs to go back there, but I think that he felt that he needed to go back there too. And we hiked around for a couple hours. That wasn't our intentions. We were just going to head back home.
Just going with the flow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no, that was so cool. I said, I want to go back. And we found a couple different places, so we didn't have to repeat seeing it, but it was still miles and miles and miles of just lava.
That's cool.
It was just, just the feeling of it. And I know that he felt it, you know, just from me being like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I got him looking for all sorts of geodes, everything. He got into the whole rock finding, crystal finding thing with me out there.
That's so
and
cute.
I never thought in a million years he would ever. I mean, his pockets were as full as mine. I need to stop right now. Or they come find me. But my intentions were good. That's how I justified it.
That's all that matters.
Is you know what? Some of them, I could have brought so many beautiful ones home that you would have been like, whoa, where'd you get that? But I took the ones that was like, okay, you can take me. If that makes any sense. Where like, I felt bad taking some of them, so like I put them back. And the other ones, I'm like, oh, this one likes me. It's a fucking rock. And
no, it's not. You know, not just a rock.
I know. We both can't sound like crazies on here.
Just me.
We gotta take our turns. Okay, so anything else on the crystal rock therapy? Don't throw them at each other.
Yeah, that would hurt.
That's a rule you should probably follow.
That's the wrong kind of therapy.
Yeah. However, whoever's throwing might feel better afterwards.
That's true.
But it isn't always about you. I'm just kidding. So I hope that you guys found that somewhat useful. Or, you know, I know it helped me a little bit because I'm like, okay, what's crystal therapy? I know, like, whenever I come over and go to any of the shops that we go to together, pretty, you know. And then I walk away with a whole bunch of stones. And I'm like, oh, yay. I just spent a lot of money on some rocks. But I love them. But knowing like how they actually get put to use, whether you go in and have crystal therapy done. Now, us wearing the ones that we do around our necks, okay? I use mine if I'm nervous or something, I do this. Now, would that be considered
calming yourself?
But yeah, but would that be in the category of like a crystal therapy, like where I grab a crystal because I feel like I need that extra grounding for the day?
And I'll do it too, and I don't pay attention that I'm doing it like right away. But there'll be certain people that like will walk into the office and I'm talking to and I'm doing this and I realize I'm like, oh,
I'm gonna rub that stone right off.
I was protecting myself. You know, I was protecting my energy. So yeah, and I think you'll naturally find yourself doing it.
Okay.
And there's a reason for it. So pay attention. Or if you find yourself drawn to a certain kind of stone, find out what kind of stone it is and look it up. Because you'll find out something about yourself because the stone's trying to communicate to you what you need.
Right. I'm like, right. So, here's a side story. We were going to sign off, but okay. So, this is also kind of science in here. My biological mom, when she was pregnant for Michael and I, she craved dirt. And it was a specific kind of potting soil, and they told her body was craving a mineral, and it knew that it was in that dirt.
Yeah.
So it's
kind of the same thing because rocks are minerals.
So like our body knows that it needs it.
Yeah.
And it really so she's not crazy. No.
Well, no, she probably, if she could have found the right kind of stone, that probably would have taken that craving away.
Okay. I don't know, I just lined up those two because they did. It said she was lacking some kind of mineral that, we either get with vegetables or even water, stuff like that. And her body, she would, in her mind, it was okay to take a spoon and eat potting soil out of the plants, around the house. But, to justify that now for her body needed that mineral. But our bodies do know, so don't ignore that, I guess, maybe is what... Don't
ignore the sensations and the feelings that you have about something. If you're drawn to it,
figure out what it is.
Yeah, figure out why, and
don't necessarily eat it. But
don't eat it. Don't eat stones.
But there's a way to.
Those aren't going to come out nice because they're going to come back out.
Yes. There's a way to get that what your body needs to you without doing it that way. But just don't ignore it because then eventually you're just going to do it like my mom did. And what nobody, it was.
There's probably no other kind of options for it.
Right. It's weird. I wonder, or I wish I knew what kind of mineral, because I said pregnant women have weird cravings, and it isn't necessarily just food, where I needed to smell burnt leaves. That's what stopped me from throwing up.
Okay.
Freaking weird, right? Yeah.
Whatever works.
Weird. Anyway, so, I didn't eat crystals, though. So, thank you for joining us today on Paranormal XL Podcast. As always, we still appreciate each and every one of you. Send us an email at paranormalxl@writeme.com. Anything you want to say?
Stick your pin in my face.
Say it. Say it. No. Stay kind and stay humble. And remember, don't yuck someone else's yum.
Ever.